Hello, darlings. I've been reviewing my former Dragon Age divination videos to scour the tarot readings to see if I predicted or if there was anything in there that relates to Tevinter Nights. I found a few interesting little gems. In the Future of Dragon Age 4 tarot reading, one of the cards mentioned regrets. Well, there was the regret demon, representative of Solas's regrets. I mentioned with all sorts of new truths but unknowns, people wouldn't know where to put their faith. We still don't know who the real antagonist is going to be. So there's a little relation there, but stretching it. I spoke about how things can flip around. Good can be bad and bad can appear good. In the Future of Lavellan tarot reading, I spoke about positive verdicts, emotions. Solas is sorry, wanted Charter to tell the Inquisitor that he is sorry. That could be seen as positive. There was imprudence mentioned in the reading. Was it imprudent of him to dress up as an Orlesian bard? There was limited self-knowledge. So does he really have the idol, or he doesn't and does not know where it is? Blockages. There were things that could have disrupted his ritual. So blockages could be seen in that sort of way. In my reading regarding Tevinter's role for Dragon Age 4, there was danger approaching. So Solas is confirmed as an approaching danger since his ritual has already begun. The Qunari have been confirmed as an approaching danger since their invasion has already begun. When I spoke of the card Justice, we spoke of natural law. The Vince are manipulating the natural law. They're manipulating magic, like when attempting to unleash the shadowy, shapeless demon that dwells beneath Minrathous. There was catastrophe averted. Well, in Tevinter Nights is when the Darvarad was destroyed when it was in the Dreadnought, but the Vint managed to save the Qunari guards and get the Dreadnought far enough away from shore, and thus the Tevinter Qunari War was not spearheaded, and also hundreds, thousands of lives were saved. So that catastrophe was averted. We spoke about discretion being required, which is already implied from the end of Trespasser, but aside from the subterfuge from Solas, Dorian's discretion in Tevinter Nights with what he and Maevaris are working on from within the Magisterium. In the tarot reading of Is Who We Left in the Fade Still Alive, there was the end of freedom for the well drinkers, probably. Self-destruction, so the artifact, maybe not necessarily Solas, but the artifact that was used in the Darvarad to absorb the magic of all the other artifacts, that self-destructs. The agents of Fen'Harel are willing to die before capture. Death before capture, that's a form of self-destruction. Suspension. The demon below Minrathous is in the Fade, suspended, but also its release was suspended. Combining forces in the Fade demons with the Dread Wolf, but also combining forces. Gat recognizing a Vint helping out, wanting to combine forces, even if just one Qunari and one Vint. Ego battles. This makes me think of Nightmare's big ego and the Dread Wolf's ego. So maybe in the future we'll see ego battles with that. In my reading Is Corypheus Still Alive, which was a very speculative theory. Elitism, which is interesting as how now the elves, agents of Fen'Harel, believe themselves the elite compared to other elves. In my reading about the Tweet symbols, there was imprisonment. So the demon below Minrathous is imprisoned, the four-winged dragon, whether it's the formless one or the Aethelgald, the shadowy formless demon. I spoke about Solas being secretive. It's nothing new, but he continues his business as usual, continues to be secretive. Solutions found. The scribes, Genitivi, Filium, Lodzin, and company, they found something unrevealed in Tevinter Nights, but mentioned they had found some things. We don't know what the solutions found are. We don't know if the solutions found are complete, but solutions have been found in Tevinter Nights. I spoke of the possibility that Solus will not be the one to bring down the veil. Well, in Tevinter Nights, the Venatori tried something to free the shadowy demon beneath Minrathous. It had shaken all of Minrathous, earthquakes, the veil was thinning. If successful, it could have caused more breaches because it would have caused a massive breach, and so potentially it could have caused the veil to be brought down or have many breaches closed down, which would have thinned it over time and eventually brought it down. They still want to attempt this. They were stopped, but they're not going to let that stop them entirely. They're going to keep at it until they're successful. They're going to try again and again. So that is a threat to the veil, could potentially bring down the veil, if not Solus. Watch out for the Venatori! There was hindrances to plans mentioned. Well, what the Mortalitasi mages were doing was disrupting Solus's ritual. So there could be a few more things like that, but there's that prediction that happened in Tevinter Nights as well. Being territorial. Solus is territorial of the Fade, as we see in Tevinter Nights. In a few stories of Tevinter Nights, how the Dread Wolf is very territorial. That reading had a few little gems that actually occurred, can be related to in Tevinter Nights. From the Lyrium as Blood reading, the only thing I could find that could be related is the Death card mentioned. There was a lot of death in Tevinter Nights. That's easy to predict. In the Future of the Chantry tarot reading, there was forging new paths. Well, a new way to bring down the veil. Solus is forging his new path. Gambling with truth, with life, risks, etc. Solus making gambles, lords of fortunes and gambles. A little stretch there, but a few little relating details. Dorian and Tevinter Magisterium. Changes to the Chantry. He's making changes to the Magisterium, the Imperial Chantry. They might accept parts, resist certain truths. With the upheaval, that too is a little bit of a stretch, but a bit of relation. In the Chant of Light tarot reading, spoke about opportunities. Brother Genitivi with his new findings, perhaps, but we don't know what he found. Maybe the Dowager will have opportunities. I spoke about how more would be added to it, so perhaps those findings could be added to the Chant of Light. I spoke about putting the elves back in. Well, I think there's not much choice with what they found in Tevinter Nights regarding elves in the Shattered Library. It's probably going to happen. It's not confirmed, but there's a link there in Tevinter Nights. And after that story in Tevinter, I feel even more certain that they will put the elves back into the Chant of Light. I spoke about a possible future Exalted March. After Tevinter Nights, I feel even more strongly that there could be another Exalted March. With the new Kunari invasion, there might be a new one. There was resistance and limited understanding. They discussed this very thing, how some would resist and such. I said more truths need to be sought soon. The scribes, Genitivi and company, found more truths. They sought them out, they found them. People will have to unite to fight against the new source of destruction. If it's Solus or Old Gods, Gat was willing to align with a Vint, new alliances and such. If it's the Kunari or something worse than Solus, aligning with Solus, kind of like new predictions for old ones becoming partly or entirely true, with the little bit that I can add to them from Tevinter Nights. From the Mage Templar War tarot reading, with Tevinter Nights, I think the Mage Templar War will take the sideline, will have remnants, but the Kunari invasion will take the forefront. And forgiveness. Well, mages and Templars probably will reconcile, forgive each other, even if just temporarily, to save Thedas from Kunari, from Solus, whatever else threatens Thedas. When I spoke about a break from war, as a joke, I said, tea time, a break. For tea time, there was a break mentioned. This video came out on January 2019, and then November 2019, there was the tease of Solus inviting the Inquisitor for tea. Tea soon? Not necessarily related to Tevinter Nights, but something I said as a joke that later became a funny tease. You can link those two together. I'm linking those two together. The tarot cards mentioned being kindly eloquent. It's probably no link to Tevinter Nights, but it makes me think of Ilario de la Morte, the supposedly good-looking one. In the Future of the Grey Warden's tarot reading, the cards mentioned pride that interferes with goals. I wondered if it would have to do with Solus. Well, he's still too prideful. He does say he's sorry, but he's not backing down. And with Tevinter Nights, the Dreadwolf ensures that the ritual is not disrupted and the ritual is begun. So ego and pride there. So that's maybe another little stretch, but another link to Tevinter Nights. So let me know your thoughts about these little things that I found in past tarot readings that I'm linking to with Tevinter Nights. Which ones do you think are a little too much of a stretch? Which ones do you think are more right on? And it'll be interesting to see in the future what more we can link, and with future tarot readings, what we can attempt to predict from what we now know from Tevinter Nights in regards to Dragon Age 4. Like this video if you like it, subscribe to be Jamie Approved, check out my book, my merch playlists to videos such as this one, and I'll see you all soon. Masaranas. If you're new here and you like my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. Like it if you like it, for the like it if you like it dance. You can also follow my website, binkyproductions.com, where I post everything from all my channels. Exclusive! If you want to support me, consider buying my book, Stardust Destinies 1, Variant Facing, Magic, Dragons, Fantasy, all relevant links below. Thank you so much for your time. Your continued viewership is very much appreciated. Masaranas.